Didier Quemener, executive chef at Plein Ouest. Thanks for being with us here in the France 24 debate. Tom Burgess-Watson telling us you've got a full house and you've had it for, the reservations have been fully booked for a week. I want to pick up with you, Didier, on what you just heard there from Alexandre Lebrano. How brutal has it been? Did you ever at one point think, hey, I might have to shut?
It was kind of brutal in the sense that we didn't know exactly how customers would react because, I mean, there's still the fear of course, COVID and the situation with vaccination that's not really clear and that's not really fast according to certain opinions. But at the same time, we were so eager to reopen, and we saw that people at lunchtime for service were so eager as well to come back to the terrace and being able to socialize, being outside. To give you an example, we arrived in the morning. I arrived around 8:30 a.m. because I prepped the day before and we were ready to go. And at 8:30 when we arrived, we didn't even set up the terrace yet outside, and there were people waiting outside to ask for coffees, and that's unheard of. So we were really excited about that, and at the same time, I think the fear really went away quickly. Today at lunchtime we had a full house, and despite of the weather that was really crummy and not really cooperating, we had a good time, and tonight we're fully booked.
I should point out to viewers, you serve food from Brittany. I guess the weather went along with what was on the menu.
It never rains in Brittany.
Right, absolutely. The rain was just a little extra touch that was free of charge, absolutely.
All right. Let me ask you, at this point in time, because I've read this, a lot of restaurant owners deciding to stay shut until they have the indoor dining. For you, is this just about, because you're so eager to get back in touch with the customers? Are you going to lose money during this intermediate period before you can reopen inside?
I think we should be able to break even in the sense that we should be able to cover all the expenses and make sure that we pay our producers and all that. We don't expect to make any money, but you know the restaurant industry is so particular that if you stay closed for so many months, then you lose your crowd and you lose your regulars. So it was extremely important to reopen for the neighbors, for all the people who know us, and also to make sure that we attract the new clients, because if you're closed for too long, then you know that people are not going to come back, and they tend to go to another place. So we had to reopen, and we're really happy to reopen. I mean, we do it because we love it. So obviously for us, it was great to be able to reopen.
Some making the calculation that it's not even worth reopening until after the summer. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a very complicated situation. We've heard some colleagues that are not going to reopen before September. We know that the star restaurants is another situation. We know that restaurants who don't have the outside only have the terrace, and obviously we have the terrace, but restaurants who don't have the terrace will not be able to reopen only at 50% capacity as of June 9th. So all of that makes it very complicated for the math at the end of the month. But I heard also that the government should be able to give it a push until at least the end of June. So we're looking forward to that. In any case, they're not going to be able to unplug everything just like that, because as you know, if you have a loan and you have a rent to pay, those business models are based on a certain turnover that you have to make every year. And if we're only at 50%, there's no way we can make it. So we're going to need some help, that's for sure.
You heard Alexandre Lebrano saying how it's going to take a while to know just how much this has impacted the restaurant industry, that we're going to see a lot of famous names be forced out of business, and that, well, perhaps the offer might be slightly more homogeneous. He talked about it being more flat. Your thoughts on that?
In some ways, that's correct. I think there's going to be some kind of uniformization of the demand and the offer. And at the same time, it's up to us also, the restaurant industry, to be able to attract the client and to make sure that we are capable of being diversified and please the customers as much as we can. In the past, we would do anything for the customer. Would come and they would ask for a vegetarian meal, and we prepare it on demand and all that. I think nowadays it's even more than that, because if you don't want to lose business, you have to to accommodate to a lot of things. I think it's going to take some time. I mean, we know where we are. There's the theater district. They're not reopened at the moment. At the summertime, they're closed, so they're not going to reopen before the fall season. So all of that too is going to take a few months before we can engage again and making sure that the demand is going to be there. So time will tell.
Time will tell. Didier Quemener, executive chef at Plein Ouest, a restaurant in the 9th arrondissement in the theater district of Paris. Many thanks for taking time out from the kitchen to speak with us here on France 24.